Plan your day with the East Tennessee Weather app. From video forecast weather updates to an interactive radar giving you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours to day part, 7 days, current conditions, access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee, live weather cameras, and severe weather alerts from the National Weather Service. Download the app today to always stay in the know. This is East Tennessee Weather, weather when you want it. And we're going to get it. Tomorrow, a big old winter storm is on the way. Today's the day to prepare. Got plenty of sunshine. It's chilly, but it's quiet. It's going to get busy as we get into our Friday. We do have some changes. Let's go ahead and talk about those changes. The National Weather Service has upgraded us to a winter storm warning. So that's the highest level. Confidence has increased so much so that we're going to get to the snow that a winter storm warning has been issued. Now, this runs until 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So depending on how this all really plays out throughout the day on Friday, they may extend it, maybe not. But we'll see how this all plays out. So we are in this together. We're going to keep you posted on how everything kind of works our way. What kind of precipitation do we see? Is it all snow? I've got some answers for you. And of course, we're going to continue to get more answers down the road. Here's your snowfall start times, okay? Doesn't mean it's going to be dumping at this time. It's just the initial start time. The atmosphere is very dry in the low levels. We have to overcome that. But based on the last couple of days with the flurries and the snow and just the atmosphere just kind of ringing itself out, I think that's a sign of what's heading our way. So again, 7 to 9 across the Southern Valley, 8 to 10 across the Central Valley and the Cumberland Plateau, and 9 to 11 across Upper East Tennessee. Somewhere around that time, the snow will fill in. And so I've been saying this for the last couple of days. I would be off the roads between 2 and 5, maybe even sooner than that. Okay, maybe noon to 3. You might want to be off the roads and at your destinations. All right, so let's talk about this. This is the latest snowfall forecast. Confidence has increased. The low has shifted a little bit further to the north, so that takes the heaviest snow to our north. This is the latest model guidance having the pocket of heaviest snow across the Cumberland Plateau, the Tennessee-Kentucky border, maybe clipping Anderson County, Knox County. It's going to vary. Now, if this low varies, if it shifts 25, 30, 50 miles south, this heavy snow comes southward. If it shifts north, it goes northward. But it's not just that. We're also talking about the possibility of a wintry mix. So let's talk to snowfall totals. I've changed a couple of numbers. I think we're going to see 6 to 8 plus across the highest peaks of the Smokies. Some latest model guidance has the tip tops of the Smokies upwards of a foot or more of snow, and that would be the initial onset. I'll show you that here in a minute. I think along the foothills, we'll see anywhere from 1 to 3. There's a reason for that. We got some warm air moving on through, not to mention a little bit of downsloping. So I think that's going to limit your snowfall forecast. Down across the Central Valley and the Southern Valley, the valley, generally speaking, I think 2 to 4 plus. But I'm going to show you that there are some variations that we could go under that or we could surpass that. Pretty big. All right, so here's your Futurecast. Clouds increase overnight tonight. Here's sunrise tomorrow morning. Snow is starting to fill in. Just because it's all blue doesn't necessarily mean it's snowing. This is a model forecast, but the atmosphere in the low levels is really dry. So we have to overcome that. We have to saturate the column of the air up. That will happen between sunrise and noon. And look at this model guidance. All snow from sunrise through noon. But as we get into the 3 o'clock hour, we've been talking about this little warm air coming in aloft. It's up in the upper parts of the atmosphere. So therefore, it's going to be still cold at the surface. This is in the form of freezing rain and or sleet. South of Interstate 40, but watch this model guidance. It's going to kind of starts to creep its way northward. Now, I think this is a good one. This model, I think, has the best handle than we've been seeing over the last several days. I don't think that warm air goes too far north of 40. I think it stays south of 40, but that will be the foothills and the Southern Valley that could get that wintry mix, at which point it will limit your snowfall totals. On the backside of that, as the low lifts its way on out, snow machine kind of kicks on out of here. A little bit of upslope across the mountains as we get started on Saturday morning, but then that should be about the extent of it. It's about a 12 to 18 hour window of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. All right, so let me show you a couple of different ways of looking at this. This is freezing rain, sleet, and that might mix in with snow. So what you're going to see is the snow is going to start to creep in as we get into the sunrise hour. There's 7 o'clock. Then we go to noon. See how the snow's not necessarily going to be accumulating by 10 to noon across Upper East Tennessee, but it will across the Southern Valley. So south of Interstate 40, from sunrise to noon, travel will deteriorate throughout the morning hours. From noon on, it will go downhill across Upper East Tennessee and the Tennessee-Kentucky border. But as we get into the 1 o'clock hour, remember that little nose of warm air. Watch this. Here comes a little bit of freezing rain and sleet. South of Interstate 40. Again, I think this model guidance that I'm showing you right now has the best handle. How much of this lifts north or stays to our south? And that will totally limit or change what your snowfall forecast will look like. So when you look at sleet and freezing rain and snow, there's a model that takes into account all that and says, okay, you've got freezing rain, sleet, and snow. How much snow is actually going to be on the ground once the freezing rain and sleet is done? On the low end, maybe a couple of inches, higher amounts across the mountains. On the high end, though, I'm telling you, my friends, on the high end, we could see anywhere from 5 to 7 inches of snowfall around East Tennessee. That is still on the table. Something to keep in mind. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody does. But we're going to paint the picture as best we can. What I want to show you, though, is the total liquid precipitation. One thing that's been changing over the last 24 to 48 hours is the amount of moisture that's actually going to make its way to the surface, whether it be in the form of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, or rain for that matter, but I don't think we're going to see much rain. When you do a 10-to-1 ratio, which is a typical snow ratio here in the southeast, that would put these totals at 7 to 8 inches of snowfall. But again, if we get freezing rain and sleet mixing in, that's going to limit that. So the possibility of some very high-end snow totals are there. We're not quite going there yet. Check in at 6 o'clock here tonight. We'll get more model information. Again, every single weathercast I do, we're going to adjust just a little bit here and there so we can all stay in this together. We're going to be in the 30s and 40s through the weekend and the start of next week and really over the next 7 days. Low temperatures. Yeah, well, the snow's not going anywhere Sunday morning. You're not going to church Sunday morning. Temperatures are going to be down to 15 degrees. And we're going to stay in the teens and 20s for lows. So we'll need some sunshine and some slightly above average, warmer, above freezing temperatures, I should say, in order to start to melt any of the snow and ice that we have on the ground Saturday morning. Don't forget to download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's your one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. It's clean, simple, easy, and efficient, and you can track this whole storm system with the interactive radar, giving you past, current, and future radar, with live weather cameras. Check those out. eastTNweather.com is where you can find us as well. Have a great day.